long preaching. Not going to be a long preaching. Okay. Because I've struggled over this. How to bring this for you. Okay. I really have, and I've rewritten my notes a number of times. I was sitting on the couch last night, still rewriting it, and this morning in prayer, Spirit said, "Just go for it." And our walk with Christ is not what I grew up to understand. I knew it was a progression, but I didn't really understand what it involved. And I want you to understand how this works, because it's so really important to understand what we're about to do. Because at the end of this, some of you had pre-notice, some of you have just walked into this. And so I'm going to tell you now so you have time to really think about this. We've been given an opportunity to seed into a ministry that's going to be happening in Cuba. It's the first ever in the history of Cuba women's conference. They're not even really technically, legally allowed to have Christianity in Cuba. Pastor Yvon, who will be dropping in after his service, he actually oversees a whole bunch of pastors and has been providing them with training down there. He goes down there all the time. He does that in places in Africa too, but Cuba's really is on his heart. And he wanted to do this conference, and his associate down there said, "But you need to understand, when we have conferences here, whoever's holding the conference pays for everybody." And Pastor Rose, "What? If I go to a conference, it's me who pays. It's not the person who's doing the conference that's paying. It's me who pays." Pastor, there's no money. There's nothing. There's just absolutely no money here. He says, "Fine, we'll pay." And his treasurer was like, "We got $0 for that." And Pastor Yvon said, "It's done. Woohoo!" So they needed about $15,000 to put on this 3-day conference with all these people coming in. Yeah, he started off with ordering 500 Bibles and went up to 1,000 and 1,500. And when they said, "Well, we can't do 1,500," he said, "Fine, let's do 2,000. That's just..." Yeah. And then his associate down there said, "There's a few pastors who want to talk to you." He said, "Okay." So they did this conference call thing, and all these pastors are crowded into this room. There's quite a few of them. And the associate said, "Pastor Yvon, I want you to meet the pastors in these other areas. They heard what you're doing and they want to come." Pastor Yvon said, "Amen, that's great, fantastic, you're all welcome." So they all filed out, and the associate is shaking his head. "Pastor, I just want to remind you, we have to feed them." Suddenly their cost went to $25,000. He says, "Okay, you got to cover." Now, I tell you that not because that's important. I just want to tell you what's going on over there. I hear this. He's testifying about it. He brought out the money that they had so far. They had almost all of it, but not all of it. We were praying over it as pastors. We were praying, and Pastor Gordon was there, and he was asking for prayer for his health thing. The bishop gets up and is praying over him. The Spirit comes on him, and I've never seen that man pray before like that. But he's all over the church, and man, he's tearing things down. And I'm sitting there, and you got to understand, I've plateaued. Okay, where I am is saturated. I'm not hearing from the Lord at this moment because the Lord says I have no more to tell you where you are right now. He's just silent, and it frustrates me because I love the Lord. I love talking with him. I love walking with him. I love him teaching me. I just love worshiping, but it's flat. It's flat. For 2 days, it's flat. And I'm sitting there with the pastors. They know. They can sense. They say, "Are you okay?" Yeah. I am. Just a season where I have to, just watch what I say and be careful of what I feel. And Bishop said, "Hey, that's my life." I never trust my emotions or my thoughts. And so we're in prayer. Didn't mean to tell you all this, but we're in prayer. And the bishop is, he's just praying. And I can feel it. It's a sledgehammer against that thing. It's just like, whack. And I can feel it. I'm feeling the effect. Whack. and I feel this crack, and suddenly the Spirit shows me the money we had been saving up for months and months and months for vacation. I said, "You're kidding me!" And I got my head down. And he says, "I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you. Step up. Not step up as in, man, I can step, but step up, take a step. He says, I have more for you. But it requires something. Okay. Now I'm going to pause here for a second to explain to you that as we're progressing on each step that we're at, okay, I always saw it as a path and we're just walking along, but I'm now understanding that these are more steps. And we go up, and I told you about how these men impressed me so much because they've been faithful in so much. They've been promoted and promoted and promoted. Some are overseeing 300 churches, others are being apostles to all these places, and all this responsibility that they have. And it's a big responsibility. It's not a big party. It's a big responsibility. And they step into that because they're faithful in the little things, and the Lord says, fine, here you go. And they're faithful in that, and here you go. And it's just a step up and a step up and a step up and a step up and a step up. There are those who don't understand that, who are lazy and weak, and who are jealous of that. But it's because when the Lord challenged them, when the Lord gave them opportunity, they just sat down. They weren't faithful at all. I number it myself in those. I was, but not anymore. So on that step, he'll give us tasks. He gives us lessons. He teaches us stuff. We're feeding man. We just love it. We just and he gets us. He writes a check and tells us to give it to that person. Writes a check and tells us to give it to that person. And it's great. We're operating on this level. Okay, this level. He's given us authority over cancer. He's given us authority over migraines. And he's done this. And we're not at the stage of raising the dead yet, but we're at this place. You know, it's great. And man, it's getting a little soggy because it becomes saturated. Friday I was liking it to video games. You know, you've completed everything. You've got all the points you can get. You've defeated all the things that need to be defeated. You've opened up every treasure. You've got every coin. You got it all. And you get to that end of the level, and you know always the level up is the challenge. Always. It could be a big monster you have to defeat. It could be a puzzle that you got to figure out. But you got to do something. He gives us opportunity for promotion at that point. But how high a promotion? It's really going to depend on what you accept. So I accepted this. Okay, this is fantastic. Came home, spoke to my wife. She didn't even hesitate. I love that about her. Didn't even hesitate. We kind of, oh, this is interesting. Yeah. So we'll just hand over our vacation money. Okay. Now I told you there's 3 levels of seeding, right? So you get the money that's just kicking around. Everybody has that, right? You just got money, you don't know what to do with it, right? Yes. So if somebody says, hey, this ministry needs money or this person needs money, no problem. And you give that. Listen, you honor God. When you do that, you honor God. That is fantastic. But let's call it level 1 seed. Level 2 seed is where you've been saving up for, I don't know, a vacation, a vehicle, large screen TV. You've been saving up for something. Take that. The 3rd level, which takes really a lot of guts. The other just takes surrender. It just takes a little. You're not going to die because you've given up that vacation. Okay. Right. But when you ask for your grocery money, that's a different place. So Friday morning? Or yesterday, Saturday morning. So after the Bible study, I'm in prayer. Are you impressed with me, Lord? We're going to have promotions. This is going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't given this kind of money away ever. Lord, I just can't wait to see this. This is fantastic. I need a new vehicle. You are a God of rewards. This is going to be great. There's all kinds of needs there. And you're going to open. I can just see we're going to work on a different level. The prophetic. It's just fantastic. Wonderful. And then he shows me my savings account, which was school money. For our curriculum in Denver. Really? See, he actually had showed me this on Wednesday, and I just pretended not to hear him. You ever do that? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I just can't hear you. So glad I'm giving that vacation money away. God makes me feel easily. And then I heard the levels of seating. Okay, Laura, I'm going to check with my wife, and she's okay with it. It's yours. Then he said, it's good. Even be better if you give me your grocery money. Lord, that is our real challenge. He said, yeah, but I got a real promotion for you. He said, it's just an invitation. It's just an invitation. But it's really where I want you. It's my heart's desire for you. It's where I want you to be. My wife yesterday. Well, she says to me, so I guess I have to go to the bank today. See, the moment she says no, that's as far as we go. Because it's an invitation. There's nothing where God says, if you don't do this, I'm sending you to hell. Or if you don't do this, I'm not going to talk to you for a week. Or if you don't do it, nothing whatsoever. He loves me. He loves me. He loves me. He loves you. Wherever you decide to be with him, he loves you there. That never changes. He has birthed in you, though. He has put in you a desire to always better. Look around. Listen, that can be beaten out of you. It can be discouraged out of you. It can be stomped all over. It can be buried in words that people speak into you. But that was knit into us since we were a child to want more. Just look at any child. Give them a cookie, they get the second hand up, one for each hand, and then a foot, and then a mouth. They want more. There's always a desire for more. We can use that, we can abuse that, we can put it in the wrong places. We can have it. We can decide that our focus is on money. We want more money. We want more toys. We want more of this. We want more of that. We want more friends. That's where Jude is. I want more friends. He's got these little notches on his belt, and he makes it really easy because he doesn't bother learning the names. He just say, "Hey, friend." Every friend he has, "Hey, friend." He asks him, "I don't know, friend." Yeah, it just collects friends. That's his wealth. Friends. It's not bad. But we have this desire for more. That's why we're always seeking for more from the Lord. That's why He's given us that. He's given us the desire. So we will have the desire for more of Him. For more of Him. So our church has reached a saturation point. At this level, there's nothing more I can teach you. Man, we know how to cast out demons. We know how to, sometimes the bodies go with them, but we know how to cast out demons. We know how to to bring healing into people. We know how to bring words into people. There's the operation of prophetic in this place. There's all kinds of wonderful things that are happening. But and we can stay here. We can receive the tasks at this level. But we can practice. We can practice. You can stay here as long as you want, and we can practice. But it's funny because a few weeks ago I had a sense of this, and I said, Lord, we need somehow we need something to express everything that you taught us. As soon as I heard about Cuba, as soon as the Spirit showed me that money, as soon as I heard Him call me, then I knew it was time for promotion for the church. Now, what that looks like for you, that is entirely up to you. Because I know that Jesus didn't talk about the millionaires' money that was being put in the offering plate. He talked about the 2 pennies. He talked about that widow. He bragged on her. He bragged on her. That's Daddy. That's Daddy's heart right there. It has nothing to do with any amount. It has to do with where you feel that He's promoting you. Now, I want to explain how this works. And I'm actually going to take something that Bill Johnson taught on, and I'm going to totally strip it of what he used it for and use it for my purposes. I tried to use it with what he taught, and then I realized these lessons just don't line up, and I had to let go of that, and I strip it away and take his illustration, and here it is. Has anybody here played baseball, tennis? Hockey kind of works, but any sport that's you got to swing. Badminton, yeah, that'll work too. It's still not going to work. That is great. So you know about the swing, right? You got to swing. Three parts to a swing, right? Is everybody with me on that? There's 3 parts to a swing. I'm talking to you while I'm trying to bring this up. It's not a good idea. Pay attention to one or the other. Lesson 43 on the kingdom. Never saw that coming. Okay. That's just there for my notes. Okay. So you got the swing. Let's use baseball. It's just easier to demonstrate. So for baseball, you've got your back swing. So you're back here, right, for baseball? Yes. And then you have your contact, right? Yes. And then you have your follow through. Tennis, same thing, right? So you've got your back swing, your contact, and your follow through. All 3 are important if you're going to be successful. All 3. Because if you don't have a good backswing, if you're not putting in what you need to put in, then your point of contact is going to be weak. It's going to be weak. You're going to end up with a foul ball. You're going to end up with whatever. I mean, there's a reason why a bunt is just, they're standing like this, but they're only pretending because they bring it and they just hold it there. And what's the ball going to do? It's going to trickle away. Do they want to get to first base? No. They're sacrificing. So the bunt is. It's a sacrifice. It's useless. Don't do it. Okay? Jesus Christ sacrificed for us. You're not doing that. You're hitting it out of the park. Okay? So you got that. And the follow through is really important. Because if you are not thinking of the follow through is really what directs that ball. Okay? The follow through is what's directing the ball. You have to think about where you're putting that. Especially in tennis. You do tennis, you've got to think of that. Because if you pull it up short, it's just not going to work. So it's really important. This has a lot to do with the prophetic. If you can understand this, you'll be able to operate in the prophetic a lot better. The backswing is so important. How many understand that Abraham was just an awesome guy? Just downright awesome. You know, there were people who were mightier than Abraham after Abraham, but they really had it easy. Because the big part about Abraham, there was no relationship. He may have worshipped the Lord as the creator. That's why he's referred to as Lord. Before Moses, he was only known as the creator. They really knew nothing else about him. He was the creator. And we don't even know whether Abraham had this worship, because Abraham was coming from a people who had all kinds of other gods. But God spoke to him, and Abraham believed him with no background. So what I'm explaining today doesn't apply to Abraham, and that hit me when I was doing this, and I was thinking of all the heroes and all that sort of stuff. I'm way over there in the camera's here. I'm not coordinated. I'm thinking of all the heroes. Abraham just jumped out at me. The father of our faith. The father of our faith had no history with God when he believed God. Isn't that just awesome? Anyway, so in your backswing, first of all, your feet have to be planted really good. So you got to be planted in the Word, because you go outside of the Word and you're in a lot of trouble. So your feet are planted, but in the backswing, where's your weight? On the back foot. You're leaning. That's where your weight is. You're leaning. Your backswing is all your testimony. It's all your experience. Everything. You know that level that we're talking about? All those tasks, all those miracles, and everything else. That's all in your backswing. That's heavy weight back there. That's a heavy weight back. You've got everything. You've got everything. See, I'm at awe of my wife. Because, see, when I come into this thing, I have this backswing that has a lot of history. This is not my first rodeo. This is not the first time I've given you my testimonies. My first church, I gave up my salary completely. I was dependent on the Lord for everything. And that was in the day and age where your child allowance was like one child, you got maybe $30. It wasn't much. It's not like there's thousands of dollars now. I mean, that was the entire income we had, a little leave. And that's it. But I knew I had to do this. And I knew it absolutely pleased my God. It pleased. I've got that in my backswing. I told you that the history of the foster kids we had, and the $20 on the offering plate, and the bags of toys afterwards. I got that in my backswing. I've got so much history of this promotion stuff, of this giving over, of trusting, of being dependent. I got this heavy backswing. You gotta understand that. And the more that you have, the more that you lean on that backswing, the more the history, the more the testimony, the more of the understanding that you lean in, the more weight you have to bring forward. I've had some, I wouldn't call them new Christians. I've had some not far down the road Christians. Okay, they're progressing really well. They're doing really good, but they look at the people around them and they say, "Oh, yeah, I can't be like you. You will. But it's going to take some promotions. And it's okay. You're doing well. You keep going, because every time, every promotion, they have to use everything they've got for that promotion. They have to use everything that they got, and every time they add to that, that ball's going to go further. Okay." Listen, be faithful. Be faithful in all the little things, in all the tiny little things. It matters. It matters. Let the Lord build your testimony. Let him build the history. Let him build that thing. Write your volumes. Write your books. Write your journals. Write it down. Record it. Get it into your personal history. Share it with people. Build it up. Because when it comes time for the promotion and that backswing, you're going to want all the weight. All of it. Because that front foot, there's nothing on there. In fact, you're usually standing on your toe. Because to hit a home run, it takes momentum. It's not just a swing. It's the weight. It's the shift that happens. It's the repositioning. Like that. It's the redistribution of the weight. And where is it going to? It's going to that thing that you are facing right now. Whatever it is. The cancer that you were just diagnosed with. The offering that the Lord has asked for. The word that He has given to you to speak over somebody who doesn't like you. There's all kinds of little things that are going to bring promotion. You understand? There's all kinds of little things. When the word tells you to keep burning coals of kindness on your enemies, He says He will reward you. He always rewards us in the difficult stuff. He always rewards us. If you worship and you stop worshiping and you're not sweating, you gotta learn to sweat and worship. And if He's called you a task where you haven't had to surrender fear, it hasn't been a major thing. It's baby food. But when He calls you into something and you hear Him say, "Do not fear," okay, what army are we taking on today? Yeah, it's not that you're not going to be afraid. You're going to surrender that fear. You're going to submit it to Him. You're going to give it over. When He says, "Do not fear," you're just going to give Him that thing. You're going to give it to Him. You're going to sweat over it sometime. You're going to, and so you get that point of contact. Whatever it is, you're bringing all that testimony, all that weight forward. You're bringing it all forward. You're bringing it all to that place, that point of contact. So when you hit that thing, it's with all your weight. It's all with the Lord's weight. It's with all the testimony. It's with confidence. It's with confidence. I played baseball 1 year. I'm talking a lot. I know, but I played baseball 1 year. And the only time I hit the ball in that year, the foul ball that knocked down all the opponents' bats. They leaned them up against the wall. I was terrified. I had no confidence. I had no background. I had no training. It was my first year. It wasn't something where you had a batting coach who helped you with something. I was a kid, and they assumed that all kids just did this with no fear, and I was terrified. I'd almost pee my pants every time I stood there because I imagined being hit by the ball. And guess what? I was hit by the ball a number of times because I feared it. I stepped into it. The pitcher didn't try to hit me. Never hit it. Never got to base. I got walked a lot. But I never got to base by hitting the ball. Because I didn't have the history. I didn't have the training. I didn't have that to step in with confidence because it takes confidence to make contact. Follow through. A follow through is where we start getting better. A number of you have had prophetic words spoken over you. A number of you know a direction that you're heading in. And if not, then we need to know that because we need to seek some prophetic words for you. We need the word of the Lord to let you know at least what direction you're heading into. Because that follow through is what we're talking about today. That follow through is really what we're talking about today. Because if you don't understand that when you're given an opportunity to make contact, that is all about moving forward. It's all about promotion. It's all about moving in the direction that the Lord is calling you to. When He says to me, it's an invitation, but it's really where I want to see you. See, the Lord is telling me what the follow-through is. that you? It's it's where the follow through has to be. Yeah, I only needed it for a couple scriptures I'm going to bring. Don't worry about this one. Do you know where you're going? Do you hear that? Listen? You can't be a successful servant of the Lord if you don't know at least the general direction you're heading in. He'll refine it, especially when you're young. He kind of says, "Go that way." Some who are young, man, they are given specific. They know, bang, this is their thing. This is where they're going to. It's not going to happen tomorrow because it's going to be promotion after promotion after promotion, stepping up. It's going to be a lot of sweating. It's going to be a lot of casting down fear. It's going to be a lot of that stuff that's going to be happening. It is, and it's not a thing without joy. Do you know what? Since this was settled in our heart, and since this morning I was saying, is that it, Lord? Is that all? Is there another account that I have? Yeah, just checking. And I heard his satisfaction is where he says, "That's all I'm asking." That's all. But since we made that, when my wife said, "I guess I have to go to the bank account," there were things happening before that. When we had settled that that initial thing, this is what we're doing, this is what we're seeing, man, the joy that came in, and the refreshing, and new lessons. I mean, Friday night, man, wasn't it good? Friday night, all about worship out of the Psalms, of bang, bang, bang. I'm just looking for every instrument now that I can grab to make noise on. You know, just worship with every instrument. You get those stick in the muds and say you can't use drums, you can't use this, you can't use that. And the psalmist says, use every instrument. Use everything. The spoons, the kazoos, the whatever. Use everything to worship the Lord. He deserves it. He deserves it. So look around. Everything you find. You know, you get the old bottle out of it. Whatever. It's you try to be so professional. It's okay to be professional, but don't let professionalism get in the way of worship. Who cares if you can sing or not? Who cares if you can carry a tune? Just belt it out. Give to Him what your spirit, what your soul is wanting to pour out to Him. Anyway, I didn't mean to go there. But this is just renewal in the things that He's showing me in the Word again, because we had settled it in our heart. We haven't even done that yet. I mean, yesterday when we decided to go maximum, so I'm into maximum promotion these days. I just maximize me, Lord. I want all the equipment. I'm taking on whatever beast is at the end of this thing. I want all the armor, all the shields, all the swords, all the fireballs and everything. Just fill it up, Lord. I got too many kids. Video games. But yesterday, because of this, person in tears this morning, even thinking about it. It was the most enjoyable, joyful, peaceful day that I've had in this place in 3 years. Wow. And there was a boldness in relationship. There's a difference between friendliness and a boldness in relationship. There was just, I stepped into people's lives. Yeah, they came in expecting an ice cream, they found a friend. It's just, man, the conversations we had, it was just so enjoyable. It was just because I felt the Father's love for every single person who walked in. Just, I don't know them, but Lord, you know them. And the love He has for them. They're not His child. They're His creation, and He loves them. He wants them. He desires for them to be His child. A man came in yesterday, and he's an artist, and he's cycling from Sydney, Cape Breton to Toronto, cycling. And he's not a young man. He's like 62. Looks like I didn't say he's an old man. He's not a young man. I'm getting up there. And he's cycling through. It's actually quite famous. He showed me all these reviews and stuff about his art. And he said, I am the most famous homeless artist there is in the world. And he does this. He does these journeys, and he journals his online, and he gets inspired for all his art and all this sort of stuff. But he also does it as an awareness campaign. And he was bringing awareness to mental illness and drug dependency. So everybody he'd meet, he'd take a picture with a thumbs up, meaning drug-free life. Because this is a man who's hooked on crack. And his mom said to him, if you leave the drugs, you can come home. And he left the drugs. And ever since then, he's been campaigning for drug-free life. And he said, I was going by all these places. He said, but I got across from your place, and it was just something that attracted me. And he said, I'm so glad I came in. I love this place. I love it. And I had already decided in talking to him, I was just going to bless him for the I was showing him his route. I brought up the map, showed him how far he had to go and where the route was going to take him on the bicycle and all that sort of stuff. It was all great. And we had a wonderful time just talking, just enjoying each other. And as he was leaving, he turned and he said, you know what? You are a wonderful man. You are a really great guy. He goes out, he comes back in, and he says, you are a really great guy. Wow. It was the Christ in me.
Yeah. Amen.
It was the Christ. You see, I've been promoted. I'm already feeling the promotion. I'm already feeling that promotion. And I know it's only a piece. Because see, I know where I'm going. I'm doing this, and I'm bringing all that I have, all my experience, all my testimony, everything. I'm bringing all the weight, everything I have, and I'm just smacking this thing with everything I have to smack it because I know where I'm going. I'm doing the follow. I'm doing this. Now I want you to think for a moment. This is so biblical. It's incredible that it we admire David, don't we? Don't forget about Abraham, who had no history. But we really admire David. And even as young as he was, he had a huge history with God. When he faced Goliath, it wasn't as an inexperienced young man. He fought lions and bears. I don't know. When was the last time you fought a lion and a bear? Even the little bears are, man, you don't want to get hit by those things. You know, people don't understand this, but they'll tell you, if you're up north and you can see that polar bear, you're already dead. Because that thing moves. It moves. And there's David out there. And he learned dependence. So he has this huge backswing. Okay? And he's standing there and the ball's thrown at him. You lousy, weak army of Israel! Yeah, you can't even find one man to beat me! The ball is thrown at him. Who's this dude? What, you guys don't want to fight him? You see it coming? All his weight leaning on him. Because you see, David's been anointed to be king already. He knew the direction he was heading in. Did he become king right away? No. It took a good long time. Because David had promotions he had to go through. He had a lot of things he had to take on. There was a lot of opportunities at bat where he had to prove faithful in the invitation for promotion. And when he stood before Goliath, you understand, that swing was coming around. And look suddenly how everybody saw it. Suddenly he stopped. He was no longer the harpist that soothed the king, although he continued with that. He had suddenly become a mighty warrior. A hero. He followed through. He didn't get out there and say, "Oh, okay, up there you looked a little smaller. I'll see you later then." Yeah. He ran at him. You know, it's a pet peeve of mine when they all picture him as a 9, 10-year-old kid. We know he's a young man. He was too young to be in the army yet, but just too young. And he was not some scrawny little kid. He took on lions and bears. That took muscle. And Goliath's sword, he picked up Goliath's sword and cut off a head. Okay? So let's get these things right here. But the greatest thing about it is his backswing. That backswing. I'm looking at a lot of people here who have quite the history already with the Lord. There's many things that he's taking you through. And we can't be of the sort who sit back and not sit. We can't bunt. The Lord isn't asking you to sacrifice for anybody. He's asking you to take the biggest swing at that thing you can. So he can promote you to the highest level that he can promote you until the next promotion. But when you get that promotion, you don't get to see that. Because right away he has a long list of tasks and assignments and checks for you to deliver. Next level up. It's David. But there are other ones as well. You have Solomon. Don't go to the end of Solomon. Stay in the sweet zones. Solomon is a good example of how not to end. But what a wonderful beginning, even with the grace of God that covered in it. But Solomon had a rich history. He had his father. He had all his father's testimony, all his father's history. He had all of that. He was there to see a lot of it. He was there to experience a lot of it with his father. I don't know exactly where Solomon was in his relationship with the Lord, but we know the history that he had. He had the examples that were all around him. He had a mighty warrior as a father. And when the Lord threw that ball at him, asked whatever he wanted, Solomon took swing of all that he knew. And the greatest thing about Solomon was his honesty, where what he knew was that he didn't know. Sometimes there's that place. You confess it to the Lord. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I need discernment. I need wisdom. I'm so pleased with that. Man, what that was a home run right there. That to you, that might seem like an empty thing. That might seem like a position of weakness, but quite often those positions of weakness are the positions of strength that the Lord loves. And he whacked that thing so hard, he got the biggest home run that anybody got. Man, all the wealth, all the riches, all the influence, everything, all the peace, everything for that kingdom came in. Just all Gideon. Gideon, his backswing was all the testimonies, all the stories. Where he's standing there before the angel. Oh yeah, he wants to do that. Well, where are all the miracles? You're seeing one, buddy. I'm an angel in front of you. Yeah, he knew the stories. He knew all the stories, and he had that. So when the angel, he had the choice. He could have not swum. He could have not put his weight into that thing. It was an invitation. It came as a command, but listen, it's always an invitation. With the Lord, it's always an invitation. It's always an invitation. And he swung. Poor Peter. I'm glad that Peter kept up batting practice. Peter's in the boat. The Lord's like that. Peter still had quite a history. There was still quite a history there. But Peter, in that moment, didn't rely on that history. He didn't rely on the testimony that he already had, the example, what he had already seen with his eyes and experienced. So when the ball was thrown to him, Peter did more of a bunt. He did a safety thing. He got up at bat. The others didn't get up at bat. He got up to bat. But he didn't swing very well. It was more like what a toddler would do. Just stand there, doesn't understand about the swing, doesn't understand where the weight is, doesn't understand the follow through or anything of the sort. He had no idea where he was going. He had no idea what the Lord was up to, and he kind of just like half. And he fell at his feet, and he sunk. So we have those options. We have those options. The thing about baseball, it's all or nothing. The thing about tennis, it's all or nothing. You do a check swing and you're in trouble. You're bringing that racket through, and suddenly you have a little bit of doubt of whether this is going to work or not. Forget it. It's off in the stands. You've got to have that confidence that this is going exactly where you are putting it. It's like driving, right? When you're driving, you're going to drive towards whatever you're looking at. So if suddenly somebody jumps out in front of you, if you're looking at them, you're running them over. You got to look to where you're going to go. And when the Lord has called you, that's what you've got to understand. That's what the whole swing through is all about. That's what David understood so well. He was going to be king. And he understood his place as a king. It wasn't going to change. His dependence was always going to be on the Lord. Always. That's why the kings were never allowed to count their army. Because their strength wasn't found in their numbers. Their strength was in the Lord. And Gideon's a good example that the Lord will have the victory, whether it's with many or with few. Jonathan knew that, didn't he? I love that story, Joe. I really do. That is just one of the over-the-top, wonderful. That's that swing out of the ballpark thing. That's just amazing. He's there with his armor bearer, just the two of them. His father's up on the hill hiding with the army, and they see the outposts. And he says to his armor bearer, "Hey, let's go take them out." His armor bearer says, "Well, whatever you say, I'm with you." And he says, "I'll tell you what. If they come down after us, we know it's not the Lord. But if they call us up to them, then we know it's the Lord." Listen, they would have better chances if they were coming down at them than them going up. because they could be taken out at any time with archers, you know, or just they get up there and see up, push you over. And he said to his armor, whether by many or by few, salvation belongs to the Lord. Salvation belongs to the Lord. And when you finish the story, man, he had that swing. That was one of those down and what just you know the power hitters because they get down there. They just get down because the strike zone and it's smaller. They get down there. And it's just power. I mean, you can see it. Their arms, right, and their legs, and the whole thing. People don't understand that power of hitters is also all in their legs. So they get these massive legs. And this is Jonathan. Jonathan's down there. And that pitch comes to him. And it's like, I mean, that whole foot comes up. It's that whole weight just because he sent the whole army packing. He sent the whole army packing. His father's up in the hills hiding. He sees the commotion. There's bedlam in this huge army. It's a panic. Where's my son? He knew. He knew. Dad, count the men. Where's my son? Okay, guys, saddle up. Let's go. Yeah, and they all come out of the holes that they've gone hiding into, all because Jonathan was a heavy hitter. I want to be a heavy hitter. I want to be a heavy hitter. Listen. We're helping plant a church in Winnipeg. Can you believe that? Listen, if the Lord calls us to plant a church wherever, I'm in for it. But I want to be a heavy hitter for the city because our God deserves the city. I want to see this place packed out, not because I want to say, hey, go meet with pastors. Yeah, we've had like a 3,000 number increase. Isn't it amazing? No. I want more voices in here to worship our God. That's what I want. I want this place is rocking, absolutely rocking with praise and worship because our Father deserves it. He deserves everything. I want to see people saved, so there's more. Yeah, it's great that they're saved. Yeah, it's wonderful. But I want their voice. I want their voice. I want to go out there and purposely target drummers and get them saved. And get them in here. I want to purposely go out there. You know what I want? I want one of those bass guys. Oh, yeah. Those guys, I mean, they're wacky. They're just, those guys have to walk around with those things. I love musicians. They're just way out there. They are. And let's go and target a few of them. We need some musicians. It's, let's do some target salvation. So we're going to do this. This Pastor Yvonne's going to be here shortly. And really, I want, this is ours. I'm not lying to you. That's what we're seeing today. And Lord bless you. Because this isn't, they understand this is going to equip pastors. This is going to equip the women of the church. And we all know, if you want to get anything done, it's women of the church. Right? This is going to equip the women. And I want you to think about it. It's an invitation. It is only an invitation. If you don't give anything, you don't give anyway. The Lord's not going to think less of you. Pastor Yvonne's going to just amen. Amen. Yeah. Right? Oh yes. So yeah, it's the Spirit had told me that even giving this up, we still had to book our vacation. We're just about to take up the collection. Perfect timing, Pastor. Come on in. Everybody knows Pastor Yvonne. This is Pastor Yvonne. Hi. Hello. This is the mighty man of God. This is God's authority in this region and over many areas. This is a man who has a calling that is beyond imagination. And so we're just explaining the whole promotion thing. This is all your fault. It's I had just explained that I asked the Spirit a little while ago for an opportunity to help us move on to our